So next is classification of medicinal and toilet preparation containing alcohol. They will be classified as first one allopathic preparations, second one official in that category subcategory official allopathic preparation, non-official allopathic preparations, that is patent and proprietary preparations. B homeopathic preparations. C ayurvedic preparations. Medicinal and toilet preparations are also classified as restricted preparation and unrestricted preparations. So allopathic preparation means official preparations made according to the use of formula given in the official books like Indian Pharmacopoeia, British Pharmacopoeia, British Pharmaceutical Codex, United States Pharmacopoeia, National Formulary, Veterinary Codex, Government of India, etc. Means the allopathic preparation means there will be standard official preparation that will be already prescribed in the standard official books. Non-official allopathic preparations are prepared according to the allopathic system of medicine and conform strictly to the formula displayed on the label. So it will be according to the label. It won't be published in any of the official books. The official and non-official preparations capable of being consumed as ordinary alcoholic beverages are known as restricted preparations. Central government may declare the unrestricted preparations as restricted preparations if they are widely misused. So if the unrestricted preparation, if they are misusing, then the central government will consider that also, and it will change it into the restricted preparations. Proprietary preparation which is newly put in the market is presumed to be restricted preparation unless declared to be otherwise by the central government on the advice of the standing committee. Proprietary preparation means it will be restricted preparation only. Any manufacturer intending to manufacture a new non-official alcoholic preparation should submit 2 samples of such preparation with the receipt to the state government. The state government on advice of the standing committee shall declare the class of such preparation whether restricted or unrestricted. Means if you want to prepare the any preparation containing alcohol, means you have to give such 2 samples to the state government. They were going to fix the strength of the alcohol and they will going to consider it as restricted or unrestricted formulation. Next is homeopathic preparation. American, British and general pharmacopoeia shall be recognized as standard pharmacopoeia for homeopathic preparations. Homeopathic preparations also different will be their books. According to that it will be prepared. Ayurvedic preparation means Ayurvedic preparation containing alcohol may be of 2 types. Those containing self-generated alcohol, example asavas and aristas, they will leave alcohol itself, or those prepared by distillation or to which alcohol is added at any stage of manufacture. One is used for the extraction of drug and one itself leave the alcohol from it. The 2 types of alcohol will be used in the Ayurvedic preparation. Duty shall not be levied on Ayurvedic preparations containing self-generated alcohol in which the alcoholic content is less than 2%. Means first category, those containing self-generating alcohol and which the duty will not be payable, means tax will not be paid. In case of the preparation, the alcoholic content of which is more than 2%, and if the it is capable of being consumed as ordinary alcoholic beverages, then the duty has to be paid. Registered Ayurvedic practitioners are allowed to manufacture and dispense except by distillation or by addition of alcohol during the process. Such preparations free of duty, provided they take a license, use such preparations only for the patients of the practitioners and not for sale to the general public. They should allow excise officer to draw samples of such preparations to ensure that the preparation contain only self-generated alcohol. They should maintain accounts of the preparation manufactured or dispensed to the patients together with the names and address of the patients. The Ayurvedic preparation may be manufactured in bond or without bond also. Next, warehousing of alcoholic preparation. How we are going to store that one? The manufacturers or dealers in dutiable goods are allowed to establish bonded warehouses where in India to deposit dutiable goods. The persons who intended to establish a warehouse should apply in prescribed form along with the prescribed fees to excise commissioner. Means there will be a separate warehouse will be there for the alcoholic preparations. For that, if you want to open a warehouse, means for that you have to apply license, means that you have to fill a form and you should apply to the excise commissioner of the state. The excise commissioner may require the license to furnish a bond in prescribed form with surety or security, binding him to pay duty on which goods deposited or for removal of such goods to another warehouse or for due observances of the terms, conditions and requirements of the Act. All such goods brought for warehousing should be produced to the officer in charge of the warehouse with the relative transport permit. Before the entry in the warehouse, the goods should be weighed, gauged and assessed to the duty of, and the particulars should be recorded in the register mentioned for the purpose. The bonded warehouse should be locked and secured as per the directions of the excise commissioner. Means if you are receiving from the outsider, then you should measure its strength, quantity, quality, and you should store, and in everything should be recorded in front of the excise commissioner. Goods shall not be removed from any warehouse without payment of duty. Duty shall not be paid for the removal of goods of other warehouse or for export. Goods shall remain in the warehouse in which they are deposited for 3 years or more as the excise commissioner allow. It should be stored for 3 years. Only those who on which the duty has been paid, means tax has paid, that should be removed, or if you are exporting, then only you can remove. Export of medicinal and toilet preparations. So no duty shall be paid on alcoholic preparations which are exported from India. The preparations can be exported by two methods. Duty paid goods shall be exported under claims for rebate of duty. Goods without payment of duty shall be exported under bond. So two methods on which the exportation of alcoholic and preparations can be done. Export of duty paid goods. Export of duty paid goods shall be made under claim for rebate of duty. The owner of the non-bonded manufacturer or the wholesaler dealer who wants to export duty paid goods should give minimum 48 hours notice to the concerning excise officer to supervise the packagings of the goods which are to be exported. The manufacturer or dealer should present the consignment to be exported to the concerning officer, who shall send the samples of such dutiable goods to the chemical examiner for analysis to confirm the alcoholic contents of these goods. From the report of chemical examiner, the officer shall enter the alcoholic content strength in the duplicate copy of the application, which shall be presented to the excise commissioner by the exporter for claiming rebate of excise duty. Means if you are exporting, means its strength or purity has to be checked by the chemical officer, and it has to be given a copy to the excise commissioner also, then you can export it. After verifying the application, the officer in charge or concerning officer shall be So after verifying the application, the officer in charge or concerning officer shall get the following particulars noted on the packet: name and address of the consignee, the total quantity of goods packed, description of the goods packed, alcoholic strength of the goods in London proof liters, gross weight of each package, means from whom you are exporting, the total quantity, how much it is there, description of the goods packed, to alcoholic strength, how much liters it is there, gross weight of the package, total weight of the box. The officer in charge shall then seal each packages with his official seal and endorse all the copies of the application specifying the period within which the goods shall be actually exported. The officer shall return the duplicate to the consignor, who has to enter the number and date of the railway receipt or bill of landing in the duplicate copy after dispatching the goods. Means the exporter who is exporting he should show everything to the excise officer. He will fix the date, in these many days it has to be reached. Then he will put that box or the sample to the train, and he will mention the date and everything, and then he will show it to the officer. The consigner should inform these particulars to the concerning officer for the entry in the other copies. On arrival of the goods at the consignee's place, the goods should be presented to the customs collector. Once they have received, means after they receive, they has to show it to the custom collector, border examiner, etc. for examination, along with the duplicate application. So if they are sending to the other borders, then a border examiner also will be there. After such examination, the customs collector, border examiner, or such officers of the customs may allow exporting. For the excise commissioner, for obtaining the payment of rebate, the exporter should produce the excise commissioner the duplicate application along with the certificate of the officer who examined the goods. Means one copy of duplicate copy he has to put with it who has examined it. The excise commissioner will be signed that one, no, that copy has to be produced with that one. The excise commissioner, if satisfied from the comparison of the duplicate and original application that the claim is in the order, he shall sanction the rebate claimed by the exporter. So once it will be, everything will be correct, means there they will give it to the person. Next is export under bond. So under bond means the owner of the bonded manufacturer or bonded warehouse can export the alcoholic preparations under bond. Here the excise officer will be there. The export shall present an applicant in triplicate to the excise officer in charge, the bonded laboratory or warehouse, giving the statements that the goods are to be exported by sea or air or in the parcel post. So in which transport you are going to send, by air or water or by the parcel post, in three forms of the same copies he has to give it to the excise officer. The packages of the goods to be exported should be marked in ink or oil color with the particulars like serial number, owner name and special mark if any, and total quantity of the dutiable goods with their alcoholic strength in liters. Everything should be mentioned on the cartoon. On verification of the particulars in the application, the officer in charge also note the following particulars on the packages: name and address of the consignee, that is those who is exporting, description of the goods, total quantity of the goods packed, gross weight of the package. He will examine all this. The officer may seal each package with his official seal. The packages can be exported with the same way as the duty paid goods. Interstate movement of medicinal and toilet preparations under the Act. Medicinal and toilet preparations under this Act can be moved from one state to another after payment of duty as per the rules. Such dutiable goods can also be transferred from a bonded warehouse of one state to the bonded warehouse of another state. The procedure for the same is described in the further paragraph, that is next paragraph. Next is movement of dutiable goods from one bonded warehouse to another bonded warehouse. How it has to be done means, when the goods are to be removed from one warehouse to be another, the consignor of the consignee should enter into a bond with surety or sufficient security. Such bond shall be furnished to the officer in charge of the warehouse of removal or of the warehouse of destination, as the case may be. Means once you are transferring or shifting the your alcohol, means from one warehouse to another warehouse of the same bonded laboratory or bonded warehouse, means you should get some security amount or surety, then you can do transportation, and that should be mentioned to the officer in charge also. Such bond shall remain valid until the officer in charge of the warehouse of the removal has received a rewarehousing certificate from the officer in charge of the warehouse of destination. Means from this warehouse officer to that warehouse officer, if they will approve, then only they can do. The consignor should be make an application in triplicate for removal of goods from one warehouse to another warehouse to the officer in charge of the warehouse, together with other necessary information, as the excise of commissioner may require at least 24 hours before the removal of goods. So if they are transferring from one warehouse to another warehouse, they has to give 3 copies of the same form to the excise commissioner also before 24 hours early. The officer in charge shall take the account of goods and send the duplicate copy after giving remark for removal of the officer in charge of the warehouse of destination, and the triplicate copy shall be given to the consignor to send the consignee. Means one will be the sender, the other will be the receiver. So after the receiver will check everything and he will send again a copy to send the goods. On arrival of goods at the destination, the consignee should present such goods along with the triplicate application and the transport permit to the officer in charge. Then he shall take the account of the goods and complete. Means once it enters to the warehouse where it has to be transported, means there he will check everything again, everything is correct or not, how much he has sent, what the strength, how much quantity, everything will be checked before receiving. Next is entry, search and seizure. An officer authorized by excise commissioner shall have free access to at reasonable times at any premises, equipment, stock and accounts of manufacturers and dealers in dutiable goods. So an officer will be there, that is excise commissioner. He will be having anytime access that he can enter into the manufacturing area or warehouse or where the stocks will be kept. He can do inspection at any time. Any excise officer authorized in this behalf by the state government may stop and detain any person carrying or removing any dutiable goods without transport permit or other relevant document required. Excise officers not below the rank of sub-inspectors has power to stop, search and seize the vessels or vehicle carrying the dutiable goods. Means if he will be sub-inspector, he won't be having that power. He has also power to enter and search at any time any premises or land in which he has reason to believe that dutiable goods are stored, manufactured in contravention of the act and rules thereunder. Means he will be having the power to go and do searching on. He will think that where the alcohol is kept under, kept from misusing and all, he can seize that one. In case of any resistance to entry or search or seizure, he has the power to break open any door and remove any other obstacle and open and search into the such land or premises. Means if anybody is stopping to inspect him or check him, then he can break the door also, or he can do anything and he can inspect the land or premises. Such officer may also seize and remove or detain any receptacle, packages or coverings of such goods and animals, vehicles or vessels involved in carrying the goods and the machinery used in manufacture of such goods. All such researches, users, etc. made under the act are in accordance with the criminal procedure code. Means for manufacturing used or any packages or coverings that will be there containing these medicinal and toilet preparation, and where alcohol will be misused, means they can use anything. It may be containing animals or any other also. Next, offences and penalties. Contravention of any of the provisions relating to the terms and conditions of a licence granted under this act, or failure to pay any duty of excise payable under this act. Means first one, if they have done any misbehaving with the misuse. Second one, failure to pay any duty means failure to pay the tax. Third one, failure to supply required information or supplying false information means if you are transporting 100 liter and if you are showing copy of only 50 liters means attempt to commit or abet any of the above offences punishable with imprisonment up to 6 months or with fine up to 2000 or both can be given. Next, connivance by any owner or occupier of land or by any agent of such owner or occupier for any offence against the provisions of the act or any rules thereunder punishable with imprisonment up to 6 months or with fine up to 500 or both for every offence means if you are using land or any other thing for that misusing alcohol for them, it has to be fine. Next, vexation, search or seizure by any officer exercising powers under this act or under the rules made under for them punishable with fine up to 2000 rupees. Refusal to perform or withdrawal of oneself from the duty by the excise officer without permission to the superior officer punishable with imprisonment up to 3 months or with fine or with fine up to 3 months pay. Failure to furnish proof of export within the prescribed period to the satisfaction of excise commissioner by any persons authorized to export during dutiable goods in bond means while exporting if any the information will be missing means for them punishment up to fine rupees 2000 extend to twice the amount of the duty also. Of all the offences committed with respect to warehousing, if it is with respect to warehousing, if you are not mentioned properly or not maintaining properly, then it will be fine up to 2000 and goods related to the offences are liable to confiscation. Obstruction to the officers while exercising their powers regarding entry, search and seizure means if you are not allowing the inspector to inspect or to do their duty, then punishable with a fine up to rupees 500. Prosecution, only the sub-inspector or officer above his rank can institute the prosecution under the act. Arrest, only the sub-inspector or officer above his rank can make arrest under this act. A breach of the rules where no punishment is provided punishable with fine up to rupees 1000. Keeping of stocks of dutiable goods in disorderly manner for them punishment of rupees 1000. Maintaining false accounts of stocks of goods in a manufactory or warehouse or not following the provisions of the act for them fine up to rupees 2000. Sale of dutiable goods except in prescribed containers bearing a label for them fine up to rupees 1000. Disclosure of information by excise officers learned by him in the official capacity for them fine will be up to rupees 1000. This completes your Medicinal and Toilet Preparations Act.